blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
Hey, what's going on, beautiful humans? It's your girl, Malika K. Courtney. Welcome to Sanctuary Experience. That's what the SXP stands for. SXP Metamorphosis 365. And we are at episode 101. Hola. Thank you for tuning in and joining me. We're going to start this session like we do with every session. Excuse my tardiness, by the way. I will get into that as we move in, but we start our sessions with gratitude. So I am grateful for your presence. I am grateful for today. I'm grateful for God's mercy. I'm grateful for the peace that we get to enjoy, and also for my Sunshine Cromwell, who introduced me to Blast. So I am streaming through blastmusic.com's channel, as well as my very own Malika K. Courtney. So please do subscribe to both. All right. Wherever you're finding me at, subscribe, and then of course hop to the other and subscribe there too. So we're gonna put away a couple of secrets right quick. Step one, we have secrets. Okay, great. So what happened was today I had a conversation, a much needed conversation, a long overdue conversation, and a very intense conversation. And I figured I would scrap what I was going to share with you guys, and we're going to have a conversation tonight. Now, we are moving into our new format, what that looks like, because I want everyone prepared and understanding. What I've done for the past 100 episodes is be here and be present with you guys. That's not going to change. I'm here and I'm present with you guys. I generally teach for about an hour on podcasts. That is not happening, nomo.com. I'm going to be with you guys for as long as it takes to get the message across. Now, if that means it takes an hour, then amen. But you can probably expect me to be teaching for about 30 minutes. Now, the last half of the conversation, the last half of the hour, I am beginning to formulate a wonderful list of beautiful humans that I'd like to bring before you, and just introduce you to some more great people. I know a lot of incredible, impactful folks. And hey, partner, I'm glad that you can hear me. What's going on, Scott Harold? Thank you for being in the chat, handling the business. Appreciate you. And I definitely know I started a little bit late, so let's get into this. Today, we're going to have a conversation about sometimes barely. Sometimes. Barely by the skin of your teeth are you going to be able to have tough conversations. Sometimes it's just barely. And I don't know that there is anyone on this planet that, as you age and mature, as you relate in whether it's coupling, whether it's family, whether it's work, whether it is just you working in on yourself, because sometimes don't we talk to ourselves and argue out loud? And we do, right? So I don't know that anyone will escape the tight and tough moments. Now, I'm gonna share some business, but y'all ain't getting all the business because that's called tea, and I ain't in the mood to give you tea, but I am in the mood to give you this work called Lesson for Your Own Growth. All right, so here we go. When it is that you are going to have a tough conversation, these are my encouragements. When you have the opportunity to plan a conversation, this is truly for my people who are in relationship and want to keep those relationships intact. It is good, hey train, for you guys to get clear, literally get clear on the outcome. What is the point and purpose of having the conversation? Why do I share that as my first point? Because sometimes ain't no damn point in having a conversation. Hold on. I see the train wants to be with us. Let's let the train be with us for a minute. Okay. Sometimes there's no point to the conversation. You are just talking. That is wasteful. I want to encourage you away from that. I want to encourage you toward having a conversation that makes sense. What is the point? Do you have a point in coming to the conversation? Is it that you are seeking to understand? Is it that you are seeking to be understood? Is it that, what are you seeking? Period. What are you looking to get out of the conversation? Is it going to increase your closeness? Is it going to help you define a moment, get some distinction to where you're going to cut and sever and let it be, right? So is it understanding? Is it resolution? Are you setting some boundaries? All right. And for those who don't know, I'll get straight into the teaching. It's just straight no chaser because I don't feel like I need one. How about that? So, and I don't think everybody needs a that chaser. Hey, Anthony, how are you? Welcome. So, straight to it. What is the point in the conversation that you're going to have? This conversation that maybe you don't want to have, that you don't want to feel into, that you don't want to even hear, possibly, or you actually do, and you've been waiting. You've been waiting for that moment to have that conversation. What is your goal? You can get to planning now. This I am your heads up. I am your and just energetically speaking, spiritually speaking, I am a forethought. Because generally what happens is, especially with my clients, we're having conversations, and sure enough, during that week or the next week, because I am prophetic, folks are moving into those situations and I have helped to prepare them prior to them getting to that point. Can you receive that preparation? All right, that's going to be up to you because I can only bring you the information and the data and the memory and the recall. I can bring you the tools. It is up to you to take them and put them into use. I can't do that for you, pumpkin. All right. So, and yep, I got my notes. Occasionally you see me just staying focused. It is good to regulate. All right. If you have the time when you get to this conversation, maybe you've been able to prepare. What does it look like? It looks like maybe you have been doing your breathing exercises. Maybe you've been moving through possible scenarios in your head about what this conversation is going to look like. Not necessarily thinking for the other person, but you're thinking for yourself. How will I respond if this is the question? How will I respond? Period. Okay. Plan, prepare, get it in your mind. And then, two, let's put a scenario out there where you're not prepared. You've had no idea this conversation is coming, but suddenly you're in a I need to talk or we need to talk situation. Okay. What you can do is begin to prepare your being, your state, your mind, your energy for those moments that will come. Okay. And that simply looks like this part. This is your part two for my note takers who are difference makers who really understand. Here you go. Regulate before you begin to communicate. It is that you can pause. Even if the conversation kicked off, you need a minute. Inhala, exhala. Take your minutes and breathe on that and think. Think what is to be spoken. What are you feeling? Because you want to communicate your message, not necessarily your emotions. There's a clarity and there's a distinction because you may have that moment that may be your one time to have that conversation. And you want to make sure that you communicate what has been with you or what is in you to communicate. The thing that creates I give, you receive. We have created our chain of eight, our flow. Okay. So it is for you to be prepared. All right, pumpkin. So you get your pause on, you get some breaths in, and you let your tone settle. Sometimes things get lost in the tone. You could be saying the most important of things, but because of the tone that you are using, the person you are talking to has gone deaf, deaf, deaf. They ain't even hearing you because of the nature in which you are speaking. Your tone is louder than the message you're trying to communicate. How sucky is that? If that is the moment that can make a difference for you. And I tell you what, you come into these moments sometimes, especially folks for interviews, folks who are having to give an account for themselves. I'm heavy on accountability. I believe in it very much. So I hold people accountable and I am held accountable. And in that, sometimes when things are being communicated, if the tone ain't right, because I could be strong about some conversation, I understand by the response of the face or the response of the body or the response verbally that maybe I need to adjust my tone so that when I communicate, what I am giving is being received. Because if that don't happen, ain't no communication happening. I'm just talking. I could be silent. All right. I'm gonna move to number three, and then we're gonna have a little bit of story time. And we're only 2 minutes in, so I'm doing really good time wise. Actually, I think I'm a slow. and we just start talking. So I had a conversation some years ago, like 20 something years, 26 years ago. I had the misfortune of being accused of something vile, out of my nature, not my character, not who I am, who I ever was. And the person who made the accusation was someone who was close to me. So that made it appear like it could be the case. Now, mind you, I even got investigated. There were police involved, all kind of stuff. 3-day investigation. Close of the investigation, exonerated, no issue, had nothing to do with me, wasn't me. However, it colored the circle. It colored the circle of the people that were in that circle. Their lens and their vision, it casted a doubt on me. All right. Now, what's crazy is, though it was clear through the investigation wasn't the case, the impact lingers to this day. Isn't it crazy to experience that? And it's something when the conversation comes to meet you again and again. I have had years, and no, this is not episode 100 because I saw that when I moved to the side. This is episode 101. Yay! Random squirrel moment. Years to prepare and be in these conversations, and just really, it's crazy to have to defend oneself for something you ain't even do, right? Step one. And then to give an account for something in which you are not accountable for. It's nuts. And I know that I am not the only person who can find themselves in that situation. Maybe it is that someone had an opinion about you and decided to spread it. Someone wrote a lie about you, a total lie about you, and decided to spread it. Maybe someone decided to make your life difficult and follow you around and be an a-hole and drop seeds, poison seeds around you. That's okay too. And I know that sounds crazy out loud, I promise you, but big sister thoughts. I offer you the okay lens in that. Let me tell you what is okay. It is okay for you to take ownership of it all. It is okay for you to decide who you are and the outcomes. It is okay for you to stand 10 toes down and say to maybe the person who's asking, don't be mad at them. Be kind. Show love. Be generous. No, you ain't gotta explain a freaking thing to nobody. I know some people who stand on that, but you might want to. You may want to take the time that it takes to have a worthy conversation. And in that conversation, what I offered you to prepare you, the tools, okay, put your tools at the ready. It was important to have that conversation, one, be open to it, to be clear, to understand what I wanted to communicate. It is not that I can construct a belief in another person's mind. What I can do is offer you the tools to make a decision, right? So why do I say that? I say that because sometimes you will talk to you blue in the face, maybe. Maybe you'll explain 100 times, and some will get it, some won't get it. The final thought that I shared in that conversation was simply this: you cannot say the right thing to the wrong person, nor the wrong thing to the right person. Just not the case. And I offer you the truth in life. Like it's sometimes that we don't gather what life is or fully looks like in our younger years. We gain more understanding, we mature as these decades add on. And I gotta tell you, I got a few decades, bruh. I got a few lot of them, a few lot. So I've gotten to understand the nature of people. I've gotten to study my behavioral health and psychology and engage people from 100 heirs to thousandaires to millionaires to billionaires, and get to engage folks and see how they think, move, love, live, and behave. All right, behavioralist. I offer you all of that just to help you understand that it's something that can be done. Step one, it is worth it. It is worth it. You are worth it. You are worth the understanding. You are worth the extra mile. You are worth the conversation. All right. And you are worth being present enough to be in your power when you're having the conversations that you need to have or choose to or desire to. And sometimes barely understanding occurs. Light comes, more truth, and you get to understand better what's going on around you because maybe you didn't see or understand. Clarity is a beautiful thing. It really, really is. And sometimes it don't feel good. So I'm not saying, hey, every bit of these conversations is going to be feeling amazing or magnificent. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is you can be prepared for them. You can practice your pauses. Right. And the whole conversation, pause, orient if you need to, think before you answer certain questions and speak, breathe, because some stuff might bowl you right over. Like, what the hell was that about? Right. You may have those moments, but there's no use or sense in not showing up open. All right, not showing up. There's what's the point in deflection or rejecting a conversation? So I encourage you to meddle up in that. I encourage you to prepare yourself to be an awesome communicator because sometimes barely beauty happens. All right. Let the beautiful occur for you. Let's move to point number three. For those who just popped in, real quick, when you're having the difficult conversations, be clear what your outcome is, your desired outcome. Can you cause an outcome with your preparation, with your conversation, with your words, with your readiness? Yes, you can cause some beautiful outcomes. Does that mean you can override the nature or the outcome of the other person? You cannot. You are in control of your own outcomes. I am in control of my own outcomes. So this is to be said aloud. We need these reminders, and I encourage you to take that reminder and apply it. Apply it as you move through your weeks and as you move forward. All right. Number two was regulate before you communicate, like for real, pause, breathe, let your tone settle. This is for my passionate people. I am a passionate person, and I have been told sometimes when I love debating, I don't mind it, it's fun. So there have been times where I'm having a serious conversation and I'm very passionate about something and I'm perceived as angry. I ain't mad at all. I am not mad. When I'm mad, you'll know I'm mad. For real, for real. So but for people who don't know me and don't know me intimately closely, I am aware of that and I make my adjustments, right? So that folks understand, hey, listen, this is conversation. Are we communicating? Are you understanding and receiving what I'm saying? Am I understanding and receiving what you're saying? Because it's not tennis. I'm not out to smack your thought back to you as soon as it gets to my side of the court. This ain't that. This ain't that. So this is me encouraging you to increase your listening skills, which will by product increase your communication skills. All right. Because sometimes barely the beautiful occurs. All right. I encourage you. Number three, speaking from ownership and not accusing is beautiful. There is something peaceful about entering a conversation and not needing anything from the other person. You don't need an outcome. You don't need a reason. You don't need or want anything from them. You're showing up in your desire to communicate, and you do that, and that in itself can be enough if you allow it to be. All right. That's going to be fully and solely up to you. So speak from ownership, not accusations. You want to be mindful of things like you always do that. Folks will hear that in a relationship, heartbeat fast and quick. It's not true. No one always does anything. Folks do have patterns, right? And as women, especially, we recognize patterns fast as I don't know what. And we can clockwork our mates, right? And when they begin to behave outside of the pattern, it's very clear. Argument ensue, friction ensue, folks get to the you always. Again, no one always does anything. Be mindful in your communication. Be mindful. ownership. Change that to I feel, or this is what I've experienced. I've experienced you behaving this way. And now I find that you're doing something different. Let me ask a powerful question instead. Ask the questions. Ask the questions and ear in for the answer. What does that mean? It means that you are not listening to somebody answer your question while you sit there and think and formulate your next response. This is not that. That is not how you powerfully communicate. That is how you communicate with distraction. That's how you half hear and half understand. Do not fall for that. Boom, back to the story. So, having this wonderful conversation, it is thick, it is tense, it is passionate, and it is high, and it is low, and it is full volumed, and not just in the decibels, okay? So it could have been easy to misconstrue. It could have, that was a really heightened moment for miscommunication. Thank God, which did not happen. Woohoo! See, there it is. I kid you not, just barely. Sometimes beautiful can happen. So leave the space for the what's possible, because it is possible to get into a conversation and reach the outcome that you sought, whether it was to be understood or to understand, to pass some data and information along, to give in that conversation and to be received. You see the pattern, because I'm creating it and I'm repeating it so that it is pressing into you, so that you're getting this infusion right quick, get this tech on you and put it to work. Put it to work, put it to work, put it to work. All right. I'm giggling because I just saw the bottom banner that I put in there last week, and sure enough, it's there. We're gonna leave it. This is not episode 100. I'm gonna tell you again. It's episode 101. Okay, great. So, 4. Listen to understand. I already touched on this because this is to be reiterated, not reload. Just talk to you about that part. When you're listening, reflect. Reflect on what's being said. It is nothing wrong with pausing before you respond. There's nothing wrong with taking it all in and working to understand what's being said. And then when you're ready and it is prepared in your mind, responding. You can be patient in conversation. This is what you can do. It is not a rush. You do not have to race, no matter how the other person may want you to rush and race to the finish line. You don't have to. It is good to get to the point, and it is not kind to walk people around the mulberry bush 7 times to get a point across. Don't do that to people. Folks' attention span and their nerves. Don't do that. Okay. So be kind, be mindful, be thoughtful when you are communicating, so that even you can experience that sometimes barely beautiful occurs. All right. Keep it moving. Ask those questions. We touched on that earlier, but I'm going to reiterate. Ask clarifying questions. If it is that you understand and you feel quickly, I understand, that's probably the best time for you to ask a question to ensure that you do, in fact, understand. Because you may understand what you've been understanding. You have made A, B, and C bring a D about when we were on G, and you may have missed something important. Again, conversations are not a race. Slow down. I understand the society that we live in. I understand that folks want things in 6 seconds, or they don't want to be interested. That's crazy. That literally is crazy, to think that you understand anything or receive anything in a matter of 60 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, or 3. Nah. You can make a decision whether you want to hear more or not. You can make a decision where your mind is going to be present or you're going to check out. Yeah, you can do that in about 3 seconds. All right. At what cost? Okay. Let me put these up because I'm seeing the side move. Thank you for putting those up. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I probably should talk about this when I put them up. So let's go back. Thank you for joining SXP Metamorphosis 365. This is a growth podcast. If I said at the beginning, trust and believe. That's what we're having conversations about over here. Growth, growth, growth. Yes, as the time moves on, I'm looking for more fun because I definitely did what I was supposed to do. I've been here with you for 100 episodes, this episode being 101. Have you taken time to subscribe? Subscribe. If not, it's a great time. Subscribe, support. Thank you. And we're going to check to this one. Do, 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 do. And I'll leave that there. I am a licensed life coach. That is for you to know. I have several disciplines, several masteries. I do have a mastermind. I do have group coaching and one on one coaching. And I am absolutely open for at least three more. I got enough room in my mind, life, and energy for three more clients. If you are looking for a coach who is about that business, straight to the point, I don't have time for the games. We straight no chasers around here. The only thing that you might find akin to a chaser is love, because dollars to donuts, when you ask my clients what do I do, they will tell you I love people back to life. That's my superpower, actually. And it's kind of dope. I love what I do. I love who I get to do it with. And if it is that you find you need someone to hold your hand a little bit and guide you along, to hold you accountable and help you plan and win, I am right here. Excuse no more, poof be gone. Connect with me. Life is sanctuaryxp@gmail.com. That's a business email. Life is sanctuaryxp@gmail.com. I do have a women's 3-day coming up September the second weekend. That's going to be in the Clearwater Indian Rocks area. You come away with me for 3 days. It's all inclusive. You pay your one price, and then all of your meals are covered, your lodging is covered, and we have a beautiful, wonderful sisterhood, girls' time, spiritual time, where we work to transmute, whether it is trauma, stress, or the other. The things that gotta go, we work together as sisterhood to help that happen in you, for you, with you, by you, with our assistance. Get the picture? If you know you want to be a part of that, message me quickly, because it's time for deposits to come in and secure your spot. I keep it small on purpose so that everyone is fed energetically and loved on well. All right. So quickly. Excuse me. Again, that's the second weekend of September. I do have master classes coming up if you'd like to be a part of that. I do have other performances, and you can find me in a few locations. I'll share that as you get to know me, because I don't just throw that out for everybody. Okay. And then I'll show this one. I am Lady Molotov in the Poetry Streets. Ah, I've just switched that. I just realized what's in that queue. I want another email in there. Okay, so all of the work stuff done. Let's get back to this. All right. We already went through the listen to understand, not reload your comments and just be ready to shoot off your mouth. Listen, ingest, formulate, share. All right. Build your 8, your flow, your ebb, you receive, your give. Got it? Okay. We're moving on to 4. Boundaries. You cannot have a wonderful conversation without some boundaries. It just isn't happening. There's got to be some boundaries in place. You can find firmness. You can be firm, serious, sure, and communicative without being aggressive. So be mindful, and that kind of builds on what I was sharing before. I'm a passionate person. That does not have to look like aggression. All right. You don't have to be angry. And I encourage you, if you're angry, it's probably not the best time to have a conversation. If you are angry, it's probably the best time to go chill out somewhere and relax that anger up off you before you have a conversation. If it is that you intend to communicate, and if it is that you've taken time to have a clear outcome for that conversation. Now, if you're just mad, you want to rattle off, people do that every day. And what does it serve and how has it helped you in the past? We talked about patterns. Do you know your patterns? All right. Be vocal. I'm not comfortable with when you're having conversations. If someone's coming to you and asking you a question or in your business and it ain't their business, I'm not comfortable with having a conversation with you. You can tell people no. That's none of your business. I heard somebody say something so fun. Mind the business that pays you. I thought that was hilarious, and it's so freaking good, and it's to be used. Mind the business that pays you. Get your nose out of stuff. Use your energy and your time for the things that matter, that move the marker for you. What do you need to grow in? What do you need to build? Who do you need to love on? What is your work in this earth? Are you about your business? And if you call yourself a Christian, are you about your father's business, about your mother's business? Handle your business. See the picture. And you can also use one of my favorites that does not work for me. Folks want to have a conversation, want to set some things up, want to do this. Hey, can you come over here? Can you do this? Can you do this? Let me look at my calendar, because I schedule things. Sometimes I can say yes, sometimes I can say no. And it is that I can say no without a bit of feeling bad about it. It's a no. Solid. No excuses, no reason, no shame, no guilt. It's just a no. Well, why? You don't need to know why. I ain't got to give a reason why. I don't have to find one for you. If it's a no, it's a no. And that is okay. That's standing in your power. That's standing in your strength. All right. Respect. Respect, respect. It's not built by your decibel, being loud, being aggressive, being a pushy. Mm, it's built by consistency. Like consistently showing up as a freaking human, as a human who cares to communicate. Okay? Sometimes we get those conversations that maybe we weren't expecting. Maybe we don't want, or maybe we've wanted. There's room for all of it. And isn't it wonderful to be prepared, whether you know it's coming or not? Isn't it wonderful to have you in order, so well thought through that regardless of what comes, you're able to meet it and exceed it if need be. All right. This is that conversation. And that's why I'm tooling you up to make sure you're kind of getting a picture like, this could possibly be part of my life. This does happen. Maybe it's happened in the past already. Maybe there's a pattern of you getting pulled into conversations for one reason or another. And it's not a bad thing. I will not color it good. I will not color it bad. Sometimes it is just the is. And that's okay too. All right. So having a conversation done well in contrast to just having an exchange of words that accomplish nothing, you get to decide which dynamic you'd like to experience. I think I will leave it in the vein of that thought. So the way the conversation wrapped up earlier, one was butted up against time because I gave my word I was going to be in this chair and be here with y'all for episode 101. So we did bring that conversation to a close, and I'm sure that we'll go back and have more of it, and I'm looking forward to it. I encourage you to, and I'll speak to the folks who were specifically in that chair of being accused of foolery and it not being your nature, your character, your being, or the truth. You do not have to wear the clothes of someone else's lie. You do not have to vie or fight for who you are. You already possess your greatness, your wonder, your nature, your being. Okay. So I offer the reminder of who you stately and powerfully are. And I encourage you to not forget that, regardless of whatever conversation you find yourself in. Be reminded, even if you got to remind yourself of how effing amazing you are, do that. And hopefully you have wonderful people in your life who do it anyway, right? On the regular, which is a beautiful thing. But I do understand everyone does not have that in their life. And maybe go build it because that's possible too. I hope you have enjoyed the instruction. And I know that there are some podcasts that, it's all fun, it's all play, it's all this or that. That ain't this. This is growth. When you come over here to SXP Metamorphosis 365, baby, you're gonna get some growth work on you. And I hope that that's what you want. I hope growth for you. Like I wish you super growth, the growth that makes a difference and makes your life that much more enjoyable. That is what I wish for you. All right. I am Malikia K. Courtney. This has been SXP Metamorphosis 365, episode 101. And I probably should see. There's buttons, and I saw a button and I want to push it. So I'm going to push it. Let's see what happens together. Okay. Nope. I don't even know how to make it go away. Okay, great. That was fun. I wondered what it did. I hadn't seen that button before, so you know I was gonna touch it. You know I was gonna touch the buttons because it's fun. And now I know what it does. Okay, on that note, y'all have a wonderful night. Next Tuesday, I will be back at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will do my best to be literally in the chair and on time. I normally am pushing that button to the letter. I believe in that on time live with a guest. So I look forward to bringing a beautiful smile to your face. Not just my smile, but another beautiful smile to you guys. And be prepared. Be ready to enjoy. It's definitely going to be some conversation. There is going to be some learning afoot, but we're going to have some conversations. And I'm very much looking forward to that. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for enjoying the podcast. And hey, if you haven't binged all 100 episodes prior to this, what you waiting on? Did you know that there's so much growth in there? Did you know the cost of my journey? Ooh, baby, $1 billion journey. And it's all packed away in a podcast that literally costs you your attention. You should get on that real fast. I hope you had an amazing weekend and a beautiful day. And I will see you next Tuesday. And again, if you ask me what I do, who is that? Well, that's Malika K. Courtney. What does she do? I love people back to life consistently, and it's measured and proven. Period. All right. Bye, y'all. Button pushing.